All right, we are live. What's up, everybody? And welcome to the Punk Rock Libertarians podcast, episode 480. Tonight, I'm here with Victor Charlie,
Good to see you guys.
presumed tax victim James Babb,
Great to be here.
and Kyle, the token minarchist, returns to the show.
Everybody, thanks for having me.
Of course. So, did everybody watch the Super Bowl?
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I thought it was a good game. You say unfortunately?
I thought it was pretty boring until the very end.
Well, you must have been excited when Usher took his shirt off. I mean, tell me you weren't at least a little bit aroused.
Right.
Okay, I don't like Usher's music. He just doesn't do it for me, man. Like
A few good tracks.
I don't even know what those good tracks are. But at the end, he played like Little John's song or something, and I was like, there we go.
That's his song.
yeah,
You know,
It just has Little John on it.
it was.
is that his song?
Yeah, his song. Yeah. Yeah.
It
It's a
was.
song.
I was at like a house party, and I was the lone white boy, so it was basically a whole bunch of millennials and Gen X's reliving their, elementary and junior high and like college years. So
Yeah.
and throwback. It was surprising. It surprisingly wasn't overtly satanic. Like it was actually relatively tame for halftime shows.
So not very cool.
It was because like last year I was like, well, first off, last year I was like, no, fuck that. I'm going out. I need to calm down. Eagles are halfway there. I can't watch Rihanna, but the past couple years have just been like overtly like ritualistic and Illuminati and fucking all this satanic bullshit. So yeah, it was surprisingly tame this year, but
We have a very different Super Bowl viewing experience. I'm gonna say, like for a halftime show, satanic.
yeah,
Yes,
it's all, dude. There's so much symbolism. There's so much symbol. If you see it, it's so overt. It's just there.
I think Pfizer requested they tone it down a little this year.
Mhm.
Right? They're like, look, we're going to pay for this. Like it's going to be brought to you by Pfizer Super Bowl. We've sponsored all the players. We've arranged everything, perfectly to sell vaccines or whatever they were pushing. What were they pushing? Some kind of cancer treatment or something?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there was I caught it. I caught the tail end. We were playing we were barely watching it. I wasn't that heavily invested in it. We were playing fucking Uno and Cards Against Humanity while the game was in the background. But
I think they had some kind of creepy commercial. Like really now now Pfizer's really concerned about cancer. Like, gee, I wonder if it treats turbo cancer.
Seems to be a sudden spike in cancer cases.
Cancer.
I mean, it's problem reaction solution. They're already out there, and the fact you have they had the ad like sponsored by Pfizer this year's Super Bowl, and then you have Mr. Pfizer out there vaxing out on his head coach. You see that, Kyle?
I did see that. I got like a huge argument on Facebook about it because I defended him a little bit because I did think he was out of line, but I was like, look, let's bring this into context, right? It's a big game. He's fired up. They're losing. He's not getting the ball, and he just he lost his temper. And being someone who's played sports before, I've seen that happen. In ice hockey, like with players on my team where their frustrations just boil over.
But did you ever physically assault your coach?
They test for steroid use in the NFL?
Well, it could have been roid rage, right? But I mean, I don't know. I don't think he intended.
I think the guy's just an idiot.
Reed.
He's just the guy's a useful idiot. I mean, did you see him at the rally when he was singing "Viva Las Vegas"?
No.
And he was like screaming it like a fucking like a moron. It was like so stupid.
I mean, he's dating Taylor Swift. I mean, come on.
I just
the guy's like
a little bit.
It's funny because the guy's painted as like this committed liberal, but the guy's just an idiot. That's just he's a useful idiot. They gave him like $10 million to put a Band-Aid on his arm. And
how much do they pay him to date Taylor Swift? They're like, here's your assignment. It's like
he's
from
probably
Pfizer.
doing that shit for
we
free.
just got the order from Pfizer. You're gonna date this. We've teamed up with the Biden administration.
Yeah.
Right. We've got we're bringing in Taylor Swift, with America's sweetheart to be America's quarterback. This is going to sell so many vaccines.
Now he's probably teaming up with
Moms Demand Action.
Moms Demand Action.
Yeah.
So I think everyone else has heard.
This is the tie-in with the Biden administration.
Exactly.
Right?
So this is, I guess, in reaction to the shooting at the Super Bowl celebration parade. Travis Kelce says there needs to be more strict gun laws, especially when toddlers are dying. We can't have that in our communities.
Okay.
I don't think any toddlers died. Right. There were kids that were shot.
We can have that. We can have that in Palestine, and that's just really cool. And if you're against that in Palestine, you're anti-Semitic. But here, I'm against that.
Yeah, it's
so therefore, right? Because some kids are dying, therefore you don't have the right of self-defense anymore. Is that the?
Oh, they're running with this narrative so hard. I mean,
never mind the fact that this was likely a gang violence that kind of spilt into the parade.
Yeah, it was just
it wasn't the lone wolf FBI trained shooter that we normally see.
Even on the radar. They weren't like.
This was this wasn't off the radar, on the radar, people. This was just some gang violence.
I didn't hear that at all. That it's gang violence. That must have just come out.
I mean,
well, there was 3. There's speculation,
bangers.
But it was basically an argument, is what the official police are saying right now.
They shot 21 people, and 10 of them were kids.
Well, they don't
have an argument.
Well, when you look at
when there's a bunch of gangbangers firing indiscriminately, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
we're not dealing with we're dealing with the lowest IQ pieces of shit.
Well, let me ask you this:
nothing to live for.
Let me ask you this: without knowing anything about the situation, were the police involved?
I mean,
they were running away.
They were there. There were 800 police at least.
A lot of times you hear, after the dust settles, you find out a lot of the people shot were actually shot by police, right? You never know what exactly went down in a situation like that, right?
Let's see. Kansas City Chiefs parade shooting stemmed from dispute. Victims as young as 8. So it began as a dispute. So it's probably just a bunch of
probably a gang dispute or
just some.
That's nuts, man. I mean, and you just start spraying bullets and hitting a crowd that. I don't know. Sounds very strange to me, but if that's what it says, maybe that is what happened.
Well, that's what happens in the hood all the time, dude. It's always innocent bystanders getting shot. I mean, you ever watch The Wire?
Yeah.
It's based on reality, dude. It's not I know it's dramatic, but
they would do more assassination type stuff. I mean, spraying a crowd is just nuts.
Well, they'll assassinate. It'll be like a drive-by.
NYPD. That's like NYPD level of irresponsibility and poor gun handling.
Why are you doing?
But I mean, these people will go up and spray a party and kill a whole bunch of people. Why would they not? Right. Why would they not just do it?
Shannon brings a good point. Kelce cares about the kids that were shot at this parade, but doesn't give a fuck about how many were. Oh yeah, give him this Pfizer juice. Give him that. He's a useful idiot, like you said, Jared.
You always hear that after a shooting is gun laws.
Arm the children, right? Don't let them go into these hostile cities unarmed.
Yeah, it's I mean, the op. There's definitely an op going on. There was also the fact just this week. It might have been right before the Super Bowl, maybe soon after, but before the shooting, we find out that Travis Kelce is involved as a film producer for a movie, and we got the docs, but it has something. There's tax credits, green energy credits, all tied into this whole their climate agenda. So there's clearly an op. I mean, now they're going to go to the White House. Now you have another platform going into an election year where they get their ring, and he can come out and he can speak on vaccines. He could talk about gun violence, or you could talk about there's a whole plethora of issues, and all of them are going to come out. Celebrate. There might be they're going to have a front row for victims and the kids, and Biden will be trotted out there. Meet Joe will be stumbling and bumbling, and Kamala come out there cackling, old heels up Harris, and she'll talk about, who knows, let's go off on some tangent, but they did create the office of like some fucking office on gun violence. So it's all part of this op, and he's a useful fucking idiot. And he's going along with it. And I honestly think, and it's getting to the point, dude, shit's fucking rigged, dude. I don't think you watch the last 20 minutes of that, or the last, like I said, the game was fucking boring, the whole game. And it's like, it wasn't that great of a game I hate both teams. I can't stand either of them. I can't stand some of the players, the coaches, etc. And then just the whole Super Bowl, I just can't, I don't know, getting to the point where it's like, this is a bunch of bullshit. But dude, that last scramble that Mahomes had, you see something like Fred Warner, the best linebacker in the league, takes like the worst fucking angle at Mahomes. It had him dead to right, just had him line the fuck up to get lit up. And he gives this limp wristed, like, ugh. And I'm like, you're the best fucking linebacker in the league. And you barely, like, you had him and you let him scramble for another 25 some yards. And then that set up the game winning, or what was it? Yeah. Well, it set up the game tying field goal that sent it to overtime, or maybe it was, I don't know. I don't recall because I was barely watching.
Whether it's rigged or not, I do think it's kind of interesting. I go on like, all the Instagram accounts. Like I follow like a bunch of Ravens accounts and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody on there is like, it's rigged. It like literally everybody is like, it's rigged. The whole thing's rigged. It's all rigged. And I'm like, oh, y'all sound like Alex over here.
Dude, it's not me, man. It's becoming obvious. Like you watch the game and it's so
well, no, I had a buddy.
Anyways,
I have my good buddy Dan. I remember this had to be, I guess, like 10 years ago. Whenever the Packers were playing the Steelers in the Super Bowl and the Packers won with Aaron Rodgers, I remember after that game, he was a Steelers fan, but after the game, he just was like, dude, this shit's rigged. This shit's rigged. And I thought he was just like upset, which he was upset, but I think he legitimately, like, he still to this day believes that it's rigged.
I mean, look, when you're actually filed as an sports and entertainment, and with the advent of so much gambling and these lines are so close, and they've gotten closer and closer this year, or not this year, but just like the past couple years, since gambling has just become so much more accessible. It just seems like things are just a little more fishier. Or it also could be this, man. It might always have, like, has been, but now the fact that, all right, now you're on Twitter, now you're on social media, now you're just seeing replay after replay and can slow it down and speed it up and like really focus on it. And it's like, there's a lot of fucking weird anomalies, like so many missed tackles, like WWF shit. Like, wait,
haven't referees always been terrible? I mean, everybody's always super mad at the refs, and it's as old as sports. Come on.
It is, Baz, but it's getting to the point where
he's making the claim that the players are actually like throwing the game, basically
potentially in on it too, where they're just like completely just whiffing on.
Are you saying somebody like that quarterback, that upstanding quarterback that was been groomed by Pfizer to lead
he's a tight
America's
end
team? He's not the quarterback.
No, he's not the quarterback.
Are you saying
that would have been too obvious, Babs?
She can't even date a quarterback?
No.
Like they didn't even get her the quarterback? Oh, man.
No, she dated the most, like, meathead, like, offensive player on the team.
Oh.
Dude, did you see, like, in the press box, she was with that fucking, that wannabe stripper rapper who's just fucking
Ice
she's
Spice?
Like yeah, and she's up there, like, waving these, like, demonic
gang signs and shit.
Gang signs with that upside-down crucifix necklace and, like, it's like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I don't know, man. It's just, and you see who attends and just all the whatever. It's like, yo, I just want to watch football, like good football. And it's not even good football anymore. Like, it's just, what the fuck is this? Like, I don't know. Like, there used to be times like the games are too close. Of course it went to overtime. Like, of course it was going to go to overtime, But
Thanks, Shannon.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we're better than the fucking talking heads on.
The reason I
Sports
don't think
Center.
it's rigged is because how hard these players work at their craft, how much training they do, and how much they care about winning and losing. It's just hard for me to buy.
And they're already making millions of
Right, like,
dollars. Like, how much more
'cause
millions are they going
sports
to
in
get?
the past, right? Like sports in the past, they didn't really work so hard or really care as much as they do now.
Well, in the past,
come on,
they didn't
people
get
have
paid
been-
as much
People
money.
have been. I mean, like, come on, haven't there? How many scandals have there been in different sports over the eons? So, like, I mean, if you can corrupt something, eventually it'll get corrupted.
Yeah, I mean, people
And
have
with all
definitely
those
thrown games
players,
before. People have definitely
it's just
thrown
hard.
games
It's
before.
hard to
Boxers.
keep that many
To
people in
rig
on
an
it.
entire league, that would be difficult.
You just
like,
get, well, how they do it the same
putting
way they fake
C4
the
in the
moon
towers,
landing.
that's
Only a couple
hard to
people
pull
are in
off.
charge of the operation. Everybody else is
But
just useful idiots, just staying in their lane. Do this, do that. You
Yeah, I
know,
guess if you had a few
referee-
key players and you were like,
Yeah.
you're like, all right, Mahomes, I need you to, like, on this last play, you're gonna run to the right, and it's only gonna be Fred Warner because the coach is in on it. He's gonna call like a zone, like, to the left or something.
Yeah, I mean,
no, I
dude,
think
you
it.
just
I
need a
think it
couple people
starts
in on it.
It starts at Pfizer, okay, and they come up with the overall script and like narrative, right? Then it goes to the script writers, and they start putting the pieces together and figure out what celebrities will be dating who. Then it comes down to like actual like okay. Then the playbook is handed down to the team, right? And each coach gets their playbook. You're going to do this play. You're going to do this. You're going to put in that player, right? And then and then the end, right? They try to get the kind of the results they were looking for, right? Like, how hard could that be?
A better comparison is WWE, right, than the moon landing, because for years WWE maintained this scripted sort of performance, and they would always deny that it was fake. That guy, like, that slapped John Stossel in the ear. He was like trying to be like, "Oh, you say it's fake? Well, how fake is this?" And then he slapped him in the ear and like destroyed his hearing.
No shit.
John Stossel? Are you sure that was John
yes.
Stossel?
100% sure. Yeah.
Clip?
He sued the guy. He got like $1 million because the guy, he was questioning whether wrestling was fake or not.
Wasn't it Ric Flair or something?
No, it wasn't Ric Flair. And the guy was like, "It's not fake. If it's fake, tell me how this feels." And he smacks him in the ear with an open hand. And if you smack somebody's ear with an open hand, the vacuum, it like cups the air and it goes into your ear and it can rupture your eardrum. And that's what happened to Stossel. It's nuts, dude. If you see that clip.
And then what did Stossel do?
seen
Like
that,
drop
yeah.
kick him, or did he hit him
No,
with
I think
did he
fell
grab a
down.
folding chair and go at it, or how
He
did
was
he
really
handle it?
hurt. He was really hurt. I mean, it was crazy. But the point is they maintain this facade for decades that the WWF and WCW at the time were real, and they weren't. It was all.
I found the docs.
But didn't everybody know?
But nobody
wasn't it
actually
kind of
believed it was
it's
real.
Wink, wink.
It's all kayfabe.
Like,
Do you want to play that video with Stossel getting smacked in the head? Did you find that?
Yep, I got it. I think it's queued up, Jared. It should be queued up, but if not, just fast forward to 40 seconds. I never even heard David Schultz. Was he just some like the guy that would show up on like Saturday mornings and just like
yeah, I've never heard
take
of this
the L.
guy.
Yeah, I'm like, what wrestler? Like Steve Austin, Ric Flair? Who the fuck? Like The Rock?
I don't know, man.
This is back in the day.
David Schultz is Dr. D. Why are you wrestling Antonio Inoue? No. Why are you called Dr. D? Why not? Are you liked by the fans here? I don't care what the fans like. I don't care what they do. I don't care what you do. I don't care what this guy on the camera do. That guy just walked off. He can't even talk. You're here to try to make a fool out of me like everybody else. Why would I make a fool out of you? I don't know why you do it. You said you didn't know why you was here. Well, go ahead and ask your questions. Okay. You're right. I'm making a fool out of myself. You're making a fool out of yourself. You need to watch when you come down here. What? Is this a good business? Yeah, it's a good business. I wouldn't be in it if it wasn't. Why is it a good business? Because only the tough survive. That's the reason you ain't in it. And this punk only. This is fake.
Oh, damn.
It's fake. What's that? Is that fake? Huh? What the hell's wrong with you? That's open hand slap, huh? You think it's fake?
Oh, he's hit him twice.
You'll notice
Jesus.
the wrestler standing against the wall. Iron Sheik and Mr. Fuji has never made a move in all the action. Of course, Vince is making his little appearance there, like he's surprised and everything. But I just
should have
I was
grabbed the
just watching
folding
it.
chair.
Oh, Stossel with the steel chair.
Oh, that was the guy. Was that the guy?
Yeah, that was the guy
guy.
years later.
But they
I wonder what he
probably
was
told
saying
him to
there.
do that because
I
that's
don't
part
know,
of the
man.
thing is like you got to pretend that it's not fake. But everybody
yeah.
knows it's fake unless you're like 20, 24 IQ.
Maybe Stossel didn't have the script.
I want to
Right,
watch
maybe
that.
he thought Stossel had his script, and he was like, "Okay,
He
here's
lost
the
it.
latest fake newsman that I'm supposed to work with." Okay, and
Styles
Dude, I
was
don't
like, "I'm
know.
undercover to like expose wrestling." And
He really hurt him though. I mean,
Free
he really
marketing
did
or
rupture his
something.
eardrum. So
damn,
anyway, yeah, it could be like
Still
that.
real to me, damn it.
And in the WWE, the referees orchestrate it, right? It's kind of it's scripted, but it's improvised. So not every motion and move is scripted per se, but
it's
they
not
kinda
really
like,
it's not really the referees. It's the players
That's
get a
what they've said.
script. Huh?
they've said the referees orchestrate the matches.
Well, they tell the wrestlers ahead of time, like, all right, here are the basic like points that have to happen. And then you can improvise in between and okay, you're gonna go off the turnbuckle for this move or whatever, but like they'll highlight a
has
bunch
to be
of different
carefully choreographed.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
a lot
all
of
practice
like,
and stuff.
really-
It's not the referee doing it. So I mean,
it's
in order for
it's like
in order for them to do that in NFL,
musical
they'd have
theater.
to like in NFL, maybe they just get the scripts, each week at practice, and they're like, all right, you're gonna practice like missing this block, and
Yep.
you're gonna practice holding this guy. And
In the fourth quarter.
Wouldn't it have to even be that obvious, right? If like the word comes down from Pfizer, right, and through the channels, and then the coach is just like, okay, like these are my starting players, right, and that alone could be sort of determining how far you're going to get against the next team. Just making certain choices or calling plays instead of passing, you just keep it on the ground because you're probably gonna get stopped that way. Like, oh, we can't risk getting a long pass and getting a touchdown, so just keep it low. Like how
or
hard
like the
could that
Ravens,
be?
just don't run the ball at all.
But
For
just
a
roll
full
the
game.
ball. Yeah.
Look at how they come up, right? They come up through high school, and they're trying to win. And then they go to college and they're trying to win. And you think these guys make it to the top level and they're like, okay, it's all fake now.
Like Fauci, basically.
Surprise.
Right? It's,
Right?
yeah, it's just
Right.
like Fauci, and like people like work their way through like science school and get their PhDs, and they start working for National Institutes of Health, and then they find out they're just there to push vaccines on
And then they
helpless kids.
They get to a certain level and then they sign an NDA and they say, hey, you're in on this gig. You're in
That's
on
just
this.
selling
Not
out,
everybody's
though.
in on it. I don't know.
That's just selling out.
But
Well,
It's like
I
when
think
you're a
first- I think
musician,
Alex-
you get to the top and you're like, all right, I'm just gonna like make shitty music and then sell jeans or whatever.
I think Alex has a good point. I mean, I think he's also a little bit just salty because his team lost. Still,
Yeah, that
okay?
too.
But
I just talk shit on once the Eagles are done. I'm just like,
I
fuck
think he makes a
everybody.
good point. Though it's like eventually there's so much
And
money
then he's back
in the
next year
gambling.
for more.
And then once I thought I was out, they
Yeah, last year you were like, you know what? I'm just done. I'm not watching the Eagles anymore. Like I'm done with football. And then this year it's like sending Eagles memes like every day. Like,
I can't even did
like
they
sending the
make
duck
playoffs?
race every Sunday. Like, okay.
dude,
Were the Eagles in the playoffs, Alex? I can't even remember if they made it. Because
they got
Dallas beat them.
smashed in the first
Yeah, they
round
lost.
against the
They were
Bucs.
1-0.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Bucs.
Dallas.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But the
they
point is, with
started
so
10 and
much
1 and
money
then just
in it,
collapsed. Like
As the money grows, so does the incentive for shenanigans, right?
that's
And like,
kinda-
and this is
yeah.
just look at the trajectory, right? Like, how much money is getting bet on this stuff now? I mean, it's like billions of dollars, right?
Billions.
yeah.
The gambling's
they're-
nuts.
They're trying to make it worldwide now. I mean, they're playing all over the world. The Eagles next year having their season opener in Brazil.
Dude, I saw a betting ad on a porn.
What?
Yes, on a porn video, dude.
Wow. What are you watching porn?
Like in the intro.
that's why you got to stop.
It was
watching
just on
porn.
like a regular like Pornhub or something. It was like in the intro. It was like the porn star was like holding up like a phone, and you thought it was like part of the video, but it was like, oh, I'm just betting on like betx.com. and then it just like
Wow.
went into the porn. I was like, oh my God, dude, this shit is everywhere now.
I know.
This is the future libertarians have demanded.
I don't know, man. This degeneracy,
Living the
because
dream,
it's like,
dude. It's never going to be better than this. Just you're going to look
Yeah.
back at this day and be like, we had it. It was so good back then.
Oh,
Do you
man.
gamble, Alex?
no, and that's the thing. I'm advocating like it's all rigged. Well, if it's rigged, make some money, but I don't know how to I'm just like, I just stay away from it.
You don't know
One-
who it's rigged for.
I don't
Yeah.
exactly. I don't know who it's
You
rigged
don't have the
for.
script.
I don't have the script. I don't know.
Take the money that you were going to gamble and just buy Bitcoin. It's
Exactly.
at least it's a fair gamble.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like this operation's on, because I don't think, did we pull up the order with Kelsey and this green energy tax credits where so it just seems like, now I don't know, rigged. Okay, maybe that's a little, but it's definitely influenced, and they're definitely taking advantage, because the gun control debate, the election year, the whole
Did they do a military flyover?
I'm assuming, I think so. I mean, they had all your anthems, you had all the,
I know they did for the Ravens game. I think they had a flyover.
You know, it would have been neat if they had brought up Azov Battalion to get a round of applause from the crowd.
yeah, they had who'd they have? I saw a funny tweet. It was pretty funny. They're like, I can't believe they had that white supremacist that sang sing the white national anthem, and it was Post Malone with all his face tats, and he sang "God Bless America." And then he had there was a bunch. And then the ads. There was that Pfizer ad. Lots of brought to you by Pfizer.
Honestly, don't really remember much.
There was a Kennedy. There was a Kennedy ad. There was a Robert F. Kennedy ad, and it's something like it was $7 million for 30 seconds of ad time, something like that.
Is that what it was?
How about the?
there were all the
how about
Jesus,
the
the Jesus
Israel
feet
ad?
ads too.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was-
Israel ad, right? Wasn't there a
Yeah.
Israel
did you
ad?
see that one for basically like coming out in a bold statement against anti-Semitism, like
Mm.
Yeah,
I've
a
seen
lot
I
of
remember all the
couple of those.
Jesus. They had the Jesus feet ads, where it's
Yeah,
like
think of-
people washing feet, and then it's like he gets us.
I
We like
wonder
feet.
who's that organization that's behind that.
I looked it up last year. It's some I think it's like Seventh-day Adventist or like one of those weird ones.
Like a mega, it's like some mega church that's just
Not your like typical Protestant or
Joel Osteen, your
Yeah.
TED Talk churches that don't give a fuck.
I guess I could
about-
just look it up right here.
Yeah, I guess we could go on the interwebs and look it up. But yeah, I saw this. It was surprisingly. Let me go back here. So, Reason posted this, and I guess Dan Smots, he posted it as well. But apparently, film produced by Travis Kelce to benefit from green energy tax cuts. So it's some money that came out of the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 apportioned billions of dollars for green energy tax credits, while also allowing them to be sold to other taxpayers. So this movie, Kelsey is the executive producer of My Dead Fred Zoe, a dark comedy film that he helped fund, which premieres in March at South by Southwest. But Variety reports that the film produced for far less than $10 million will also benefit from federal tax credits designed to incentivize the production of clean, renewable energy. So this fucking guy, he's making, producing this movie, $1 million athlete, and he needs our stolen dollars to promote this fraudulent green energy agenda 2030 and UN just fucking scam. It's ridiculous. But
You're not
Oh,
a
so
Kelsey
apparently
fan.
this He Gets Us thing is funded by the Hobby Lobby guy.
Hobby Lobby. Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah. Well, he's one of the backers.
Okay.
But I guess it's not associated with a specific church.
They all run in the same like mega church circles.
Mm.
Jared,
Yeah.
I'm posting a link for the interesting video called Silence. That was the commercial during the Super Bowl.
And this is the Pfizer. This is the Pfizer pharmaceutical ad,
No,
or
this is the pro genocide ad.
oh no, oh geez, I must have missed this. I must have been in the bathroom.
Look at the way they
Sometimes I imagine what I'd write today
they
to
like
my
pull on
dear
certain
friend Martin.
themes and strings.
I'd remind people that all hate thrives on one thing: silence.
Oh yeah, I remember.
The people who
Now I
will
remember
change the
this.
nation.
This my friend made a joke out of the Hitler part.
Hitler was right. Hashtag Hitler was right.
He was like, or no, I think I made a joke. I think I was like, because he always makes Jew jokes. I was like, oh, did you make this commercial, dude?
Used to be bystanders who raise their voices
Stand up for
against
Jewish
injustice.
hate.
When we stand up to silence, we stand up to all hate.
Robert Kraft. Is that
Oh,
like
what
me,
is this?
Robert Kraft?
Where is the
Yeah, that's the
Jewish hate?
owner of the.
That
That's
this is
the owner of the
referencing? They need
Patriots.
the Super Bowl ad to stop. I'm just curious what he's talking about.
Well, while this
Anti-Semitism, I guess.
while the Super Bowl was going on, taking place, we were bombing not directly, but
You were
all
bombing?
all the bombs that we're sending over to the IDF. They were bombing the fuck out of Gaza during the Super Bowl, and then literally 2 days later, the Senate just appropriated, I think it was like $36 billion in the middle of the night to go towards Israel and Ukraine, or it was something insane. 36 billion. Who the fuck knows? It's all just zeros now. You never know. But yeah, so they got to keep this narrative going of, and a lot of these local politicians, I think she's a speaker of the House here in Maryland. She's introducing a bill to like more hate speech shit, or
Is this just basically? Does this tell you who they have a file on, and who like who's succumbing to the pressure? Like the more they do, like the more conspicuous they are, I feel like the thicker the file.
Yeah, we're about to be canceled, boys.
This could be our last show.
Yep.
Too bad Phil won't be here.
Yeah, what the fuck? Let's move to Thursdays. It works better for my schedule.
Misses three episodes.
Three shows later.
That's funny.
MIA.
Yeah.
Three
What the
Thursdays
hell, man?
later.
So we had the Putin interview.
Everyone
with
send him hate mail.
Tucker.
Go ahead.
During last week's show, like right before last week's show, but I posted the Australian. Like if you see a different translation, you might come away a little differently. The Australian translation I thought was just a little bit more informative, especially when it came to a key question about the Nord Stream bombing. Did you guys see? I don't know if you have that link.
Yeah, we got it queued up here. I must have missed this clip. Who
blew up Nord
interview.
Stream?
Well, that would be that fucking stupid cunt Joe Biden. I mean, they had a fucking something to prove to the world and try and make a reason for them to spend billions on Ukraine so they could launder their fucking money over in Ukraine, the stupid cunts. I mean, Joe Biden fucking clearly blew it up, because why the fuck would I want to blow up my pipeline that makes my country fucking maximum money? You guys in the fucking West don't understand this, but that's actually the Russian pipeline that sends gas to make fucking big dollars for my fucking government pockets. So the Americans blew it up and made it out it was fucking Russia. Why the fuck would I want to blow up my own fucking income stream? Joe Biden's a fucking idiot. Anyway, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. This has been another Hang Loose Recluse production. Go get fucked. Thank y'all.
Hang
Good
loose,
setup, Dad.
recluse. That's far out.
I sent that down to Kate down under. She got a laugh. Yeah, that's great. I mean, it's so. Did they even talk about the Nord Stream pipeline at all anymore? I mean, it's just that story is just buried. You don't hear anything about that. Not a peep. It's just that's just.
You
been
think all those
memory holes.
environmentalists would be so concerned about that methane release, right?
Yeah.
Like, wow, like you're concerned about like cow farts in Amsterdam, but somehow this like the greatest ecological disaster of our lifetime gets a pass.
You're trying to put like a generation of farmers out of business that, have been farming their land for, 100, 200, 300 some odd years. And, that's the biggest threat to the environment.
Well, I'm sure Greenpeace immediately sprung into action after the Nord Stream attack, right? To protest the CIA, NATO, right?
Yeah, that's insane. I need to go back and watch that full interview. I haven't had a chance. Like I said, I watched that first 30 minutes before we went live last week, and it was pretty interesting. We'll see what happens. I honestly think, and I don't know, Kyle, you could maybe be best to answer this. What do you think the news around the water cooler is? Because I think this interview, you look at Tucker Carlson's his dad's background, and Dave Casey, who does his podcast, was talking about Tucker's dad's background. I mean, he was heavily involved. CIA, Media Matters, I think, was his company that he was involved in, but they were heavily. It was probably part of Operation Mockingbird, but maybe it was like 2 CIA agents or 2 intelligence assets talking with each other through, or. I think maybe Tucker might be he might be the VP. He might be Trump's VP pick, potentially. So this is maybe, I don't know. I'm thinking if he was smart, which I doubt it.
I think he's definitely wants to keep that, at least keep that market open to him. I haven't heard, he doesn't really say anything too critical about Trump, does he?
No, never. I mean, they're buddies. They hang out. I mean, he interviewed him. He doesn't. I mean, did he dig? I want to say Tucker did an interview with Trump, and I think he kind of got into warp speed a little bit, but he wasn't like overtly critical as he should be, But like I said, that was months ago. But I don't know. I just get this vibe that maybe this was, for those purposes. And then also,
so are you suggesting that Carlson is an asset and Putin is an asset?
Well, Putin's still, KGB. So it's 2 intelligence officers, more or less, or intelligent assets having a conversation.
It was weird. I had a little conversation about this on Facebook earlier. The difference between an agent and an asset, right? And an agent is someone who's working for the CIA or working for someone, and an asset is I don't think they're directly employed by, right? It's someone is a useful, serves a purpose, but they're not affiliated. What's an asset exactly?
That exactly, just someone that's they got a file on them, and they can use them for use them for said purposes, or useful. Not, I wouldn't say idiot, but they're like an expertise in a certain area, and it's like, hey, this is someone that we've been keeping an eye on you. Like, we've known you from a long time. Like, here, by the way, like, don't get too out of line, because
somebody like Trump, that's like they got just enough on to keep him in line, but they can still let him be the maverick out there. I just posted a link. Did you guys see Trump giving his opinion on the Ukraine war?
No, is this fairly recent? At a rally?
This was at some kind of campaign rally. I just posted the link, and I was, like, if you're wondering, like, is he going to be the peace candidate, or like, what didn't he? Because at one point he said he would end the conflict in one day, right?
Mm-hmm. That's
and
what I
like,
remember.
I think a lot of people are like, oh, I kind of respect that,
Wait, which conflict?
Now he's got
in
somewhat
Ukraine.
of a different view.
Oh,
Yeah, like he would talk to Putin and just settle everything, and we'd negotiate a peace treaty in a single day, right?
And Ukraine's an interesting case. People always want to know my feeling. Number one, we're in for 200 billion plus, and the European nations are in for 20 billion. And it's more important for them. And don't you think they should equalize? Nobody asks them. It's like I did with NATO. I said, we're paying for NATO, and we don't get so much out of it. And I hate to tell you this about NATO. If we ever needed their help, let's say we were attacked, I don't believe they'd be there. I don't believe. I know the people. I know them. I can tell you country by country who would be there, and who, but I don't believe they'd be there. But I took care of NATO. I said, you got to pay your bills. If you don't pay your bills, we're not going to be there to support you. And the following day, the money came rolling into NATO. But the European nations, if you add them up, the economy is about the same size as the U.S., believe it or not. A lot of people are surprised. You add them all up, And they are in for about $20 billion, and we're in for $200 billion because we're stupid. All we have to do is say pay. Nobody ever says to them pay. You don't even hear that. I say pay. And they'll pay too. You have to equalize.
So is he suggesting? Does the video end there? Because there was more to the video.
That was it.
But,
I didn't stop it. Yeah.
okay. Where
well, he's not saying, "Hey, we should stop paying."
but
He's
starts
saying
talking
everyone
about
should pay their
sending
fair share.
More.
Yeah.
He starts talking about sending more weapons. He doesn't want the U.S. to cut back. He wants Europe to spend even more, to have more war.
Equalize it. The equalizer.
Like completely different. Completely different than the guy. Oh, we can settle this in one day.
I preferred the settle in one day Trump.
Yeah.
Or the other time he was interviewed, he's like, people are dying. He's like, I just want people to stop dying. It's like his tune. That's the thing. On one hand, I think like, all right, that would be a stroke of genius if he would have Tucker or maybe Vivek or someone like that as his VP, but he probably won't. He'll probably just
Tucker
have
as his VP.
It would outshine him, right? Like, I don't think I'm presuming that Trump's ego would keep somebody from being smarter than him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the same reason Vivek won't get it, right?
Right.
Like you want to be the one that everybody looks to as they, you know, for the answers.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, maybe I don't know what's, you know, it certainly wouldn't do him wrong to get somebody who's like actually smart on his team.
I hope he doesn't get Nikki Haley, man.
Oh God, dude, that honestly, you know what? And I'll say this, you know what? I hope he fucking does it. I hope he does.
Does Nikki
that
Haley?
Would just be the end. That would be the end. That would be the end of these MAGA retards standing by him.
No, they'll just be reborn
not all of them.
as
not all of them, but a lot of them are because there's a lot that are still kind of maybe like, yeah, you know. I don't know. I just think it would be
they'll
good.
fall right in line, and just like the anti-Trumpers will fall right in line, and it won't be that hard.
I think what I'm looking at is like long-term, maybe not long-term.
But I mean, as vice president, like, I feel like she's more effective just being like, you know, a fucking lobbyist for Raytheon than she is as a vice president. You know, I'd kind of rather her just be vice president. You know? Like,
well, the thing
at least she's like maybe a little bit accountable.
The whole idea of being vice president is so you can be effective for your masters. I mean, look at, you know, I think people saw what Biden did with the office and how lucrative that was for various criminal elements around the world. And they're like, yeah, let's, you know, I could just see the deep state going to Trump and like, okay, we'll let you be president. All right. But here's the deal. We get our Nikki Haley.
I guess I forgot how effective
Haley's
a vice
VP.
president can be with
we're
Kamala
gonna
in
give
there.
Some other cabinet members, right? We're going to continue operation. We're going to continue to support Israel. We're going to keep sending weapons to Azov Battalion, and we're going to try to destabilize
keep
Iran.
arming the Nazis.
And so, as long as you're cool with all these operations, then we'll let you be president, sure, right? But you know, this is
why is he suddenly singing the different tune on Ukraine, huh?
Yeah,
he's like, hey, if I support the war in Ukraine, I can be president? Well, okay, sure. You know, he has no principles to fall back on, right?
Right.
So, any art of the deal. Oh, okay. I'm pro genocide now. Okay. You know, like whatever.
Right.
Hey, did you guys
Flavor
have a
of the
good
month.
Valentine's Day? You guys all have ladies. How'd you make out?
We celebrated early, but yeah, it was good. Went out to dinner.
Nice.
Exchanged gifts.
Where'd you go out to dinner?
I forget the name of the place. It's like this newer Italian joint out in Fells.
Okay. How are the prices? Jacked up, or
yeah, prices are ridiculous everywhere. But you just
by dynamics or just by inflation? Valentine's, inflation to begin.
I don't think it was like on account of Valentine's. I think it was just everything is. It's like you get a cocktail. It's like $15.
Yeah.
Break 100. Was it over 100? Huh? Was it over 100 for two of you?
Oh yeah, it was like probably 150.
Ooh.
Just for drinks?
No, that was drinks and dinner.
It's not too bad.
It's not terrible, but it's still more
Yeah.
than it was, 5 years ago, probably.
Dude, dining
Yeah.
in is the way to go nowadays. Just got some crab cakes and just cooked
Mm.
myself. Got a couple bottles of wine.
Yeah.
Watch some Jeopardy. It's a very romantic dinner.
Very good.
I just
was
got her
great.
flowers and a card. It wasn't even really anything romantic.
Oh, Kyle.
I
Man,
feel
dude.
really guilty. Well,
You got an 8-month-old that you're keeping alive, so that's
I
a
know,
lot.
and
That's a lot going on. That's a lot of responsibility.
It kind of feels like we're like always just treading water or just trying to deal with the baby. Like there's really no time for us, and I just feel.
Oh, you got a prenup. That's all I'm going to say.
Got to make time, man.
Thanks for that advice. Yeah, no, it does. It
How old
feels
is
like
how
we're
old is
just
your
focused on the
how old is
baby.
your daughter now?
8 months. 8 months old. So she's starting to crawl a little bit. Not really. She grabs
It
everything.
only
in
gets harder
sight,
from here.
puts
So
it in her mouth. I know, but I'm really feeling guilty now that you guys are talking that I didn't plan a dinner or anything like that.
Mine was so last minute. On one hand, I'm kind of like, it's a Hallmark corporate holiday, Valentine's, blah blah blah. But then I actually looked into someone who posted I think it was Christian Anarchist posted a tweet, and I retweeted it, I believe on PRL or maybe on my personal account. But I actually looked into history of Saint Valentine, pretty fucking based. So I want to say like it was during the Roman, So in the LP PA put up this tweet, and this was great. Like, so on this day, now they celebrated in the Western Christianity on the 14th, Orthodoxy on July 6th, they venerate Saint Valentine. But many think of on Valentine's Day, many think of chocolate, roses, and little bit like be mine hearts. But at its core, the day honors one who fought against the state, a man named Saint Valentine. As a Christian during the Roman Empire, he was persecuted by the state for his beliefs. He helped other Christians escape Roman persecution and married couples so that the husbands could avoid state slavery as conscripted soldiers. In the end, Saint Valentine paid the ultimate price and was killed by the command of Emperor Claudius. So pretty base.
righteous.
Yeah. And I was like, because
sometimes marriage is good, James.
No,
sometimes
that's not bad.
sometimes if you
that's
could.
great.
So this is what St. Valentine's, he was married against the emperor's orders and marrying, because at the time this was like, I want to say about 300 AD. So a lot of people were converting to Christianity and were like, fuck the Roman Empire. It's bred in circuses. It's collapsing. Why do I want to join the Roman legions and be sent off to war and die? I just want to get married and have kids and fuck the state. So
Nice.
I thought that was pretty base. I was like,
Yeah.
we never don't know how base this is. Like this. So
This is the way Valentine should be. In fact, I
Right.
got the
Fuck
best
the state.
Valentine's gift ever this year. Okay.
yeah.
I mean, and this is the time of year that, we hope to hear those
9mm?
words, taxation is theft. So Josie got me this shirt.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
It says taxation is theft in nice big letters, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Very bold. So have you
So
been
you
wearing
can
it
wear
every
that-
day?
Wear that at your IRS court date.
Well, there will be none because I'm a presumed tax victim.
Right.
That's nice. You get a gift from the woman. See, I'm like,
You don't
I
get a
said to-
gift from your woman, Kyle?
No, I said to Kate, I was like, all right, here's your flowers and your card.
I got a
but-
whole basket of shit, man.
What?
Did
A
you?
whole basket?
Nice.
Like a Easter?
Yeah.
Like a whole.
Well, not a basket, like a whole bag.
Oh, nice.
I got beef jerky,
What?
which I already ate. I got these gummy worms, which I ate most of them.
Nice.
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 Oh, and then
Kyle,
she
you
got
can
me
still
this,
turn
like,
things around by, it's
Yeah.
not a Valentine's present, but you could still get her, like, say, some silk pajamas, right? Like something a little extra
Pajamagram.com.
nice and just
Yeah.
as an extra, like, hope
Or a
she doesn't
spa
divorce
day.
you, like, if you got her
Get her like a
flowers, I'm sure
massage.
that should cover you. But
I already got her a massage for the last, I think it was her birthday. A couple
with
months
a
ago.
with a
She's,
dude.
I don't know, at a massage place.
Isn't that
Hey,
kind of
man.
weird giving a gift of like some dude like touching your wife?
It's usually not a dude. Sometimes, but usually it's a woman.
You never know nowadays.
It's a spa. It's a spa day.
It could be a Zur. Could be a Zur.
I don't know, but I mean, and she hasn't even used it because she's been so busy with the baby. So if I got her another massage card, it would
yeah, like
is it a
Light 'em up.
Nuru massage?
huh? What's that?
Nuru massage?
I don't know.
oh
What
yeah,
that is.
like that porn.
I hope not.
Oh man, a lot of porn talk today.
Yeah. What's with this? You
We need
degenerates?
to call up that Fleshlight company again. Get them back on here. Sponsors.
The auto blow.
Auto-blow.
We do need sponsors, but maybe we could do just a little bit. Somebody, I don't know.
No,
At least
I don't know.
like maybe a firearms company, something more
Ooh.
appropriate.
Yeah, we could get some guns going on here.
Like an armory.
Yeah. What about
should've
that?
been-
Like, go ahead.
Oh, we should have had a booth at the Baltimore Health Expo. Did you guys?
The Baltimore Health Expo.
Yeah, look at this shit. This was hilarious. Like, this was just a couple days ago. So yeah, maybe next year, maybe they could sponsor us. Whoever sponsors this organization. But yeah, we need to get some good sponsors. But this was a Baltimore Health Expo. Do you see this video? It's like I don't even know who she is, but she's some celebrity, morbidly obese woman. And the local news channel had her like parading around, like, we're here at the ball. Oh shit, wrong tweet.
Yeah,
I boomered it. It's up. It's the next tweet up. But I must have copied the wrong link. But it was on our page. But maybe not. I might have clicked the wrong link. I apologize, Jared. But disregard. But anyways, it was total clown world. It was this Baltimore Health Expo, and they had this morbidly obese woman. And apparently, I guess she's some DJ or going around this whole. It was probably all just big pharma.
Healthy at any
healthcare.
size.
Yeah, just
Hey, we're body positive here, right?
yeah.
I mean,
it was-
Otto's not here, but we're still body positive, right?
I mean, I don't care what size you are, but you can't say that it's healthy.
Yeah, you can still be, like awesome, but
Yeah, you could be a great person, but you're just not.
you could be an adequate
optimal health.
podcaster. We're not saying that's not the case.
But you should be like the face of a health expo.
right.
Exactly.
So maybe next year we can get Otto there, get PRL there. PRL sponsors the Baltimore Health Expo.
Did you guys hear Larry Hogan's running for Senate?
Yeah, that's pathetic.
Who is that?
See,
He was go ahead, Alex.
go ahead, Kyle. You got the docs
was-
on this.
He was Maryland's former governor. He's a Republican, but he was, elected in Maryland, which is like 70% Democrat or something like that. So he's, I would call him maybe a centrist, even a left-leaning guy. He's known in libertarian circles for his quote, "Just wear the damn mask."
Yeah,
Um,
Larry Hogan.
He hangs around libertarians now?
No,
No, I'm
not at all.
saying
Oh,
he's
no.
known in libertarian circles
Oh,
as
okay.
Lockdown Larry. And his quote, one of his quotes was, "Just wear the damn mask." During COVID, he was telling us we need to wear masks and get
He was
vaccinated.
telling Lamar Jackson, the quarterback of the Ravens, because Lamar, who's still to this day, I think, pure blood, and he held out, and he was telling Lamar, just get the damn vaccine, and just kind of trying to vax shame him into getting it. And
God,
he would quote, like he would do press conference, just get the damn vaccine. He was a big pharmaceutical pusher. One thing that was very, remember, Kyle, and Jared, I'm sure you remember, because it was in the news for a minute. It was during the lockdowns. It was during oh my gosh, we need these test kits. We need this. And it was before the quote vax cure was available, and everybody was still freaking out. And remember, he sent the test kits over from South Korea, and all of them were faulty, but there was some ties with his wife's family because his wife is from Korea. And there was some ties where it was nepotism. And that just kind of got buried. And then it was kind of like a ploy where he because it was his last term and he was trying to come off very presidential, but he's a never Trumper, Babs. He's a never Trumper Republican. So he was trying to out Trump at the governor stage, like I'm doing something about COVID and I'm bringing these faulty test kits that do God knows what over at the tune of like $7.5 million. And apparently all of them turned out to be, well, COVID kits are all fucking fraud anyway. It's all bullshit. So who knows what, like he used, I don't know, like almost $8 million on taxpayer money on these fraudulent kits. And they had the National Guard guarding them. And we're going to distribute them once we're approved by the FDA to start. And then they were never approved and turned out to be faulty. And like so now he's running for Senate because there's nobody in the GOP. There's an open seat. One of them is finally retiring. And so
is there an LP candidate?
Yeah, we do. Mike Scott. He's fucking based. He's pretty based. He actually was one of the individuals giving testimony against for Defend the Guard.
Let's get him in touch with Putin and see if we can
funded.
Like get the support we might need to actually, you know.
He might have some channels. He's a retired Air Force officer, so he might have some.
Just slide into Tucker's DMs.
Yeah.
But if we, you know what,
Yeah.
maybe, you know what, like, oh, here's his bodyguards, the Houthis. You know, like, that'd be bad, wouldn't it?
We were playing the Trump clip about, you know, like, oh, we don't pay enough in the NATO, or that they don't pay their fair share, and that rubbed all these centrist, moderate, like just total regime Republicans, and Hogan being one of them. And I think he actually tweeted out something, and he just announced a couple days ago, he's like, as Senator, I'll fully support NATO. And it's like, oh God, like shut the fuck up. Like
well, you know what? There's still, see, as long as boomers are alive, okay, the greatest generation, and World War II were the heroes and all of this stuff. NATO is gonna be defended in the hearts of, you know, of simple people, right? Like, what are you gonna do?
What's the talk amongst normies, Kyle, in here in Maryland with Hogan? I just don't think he stands a shot.
I just have one friend that likes him. I don't know. He just likes Hogan for whatever reason. I don't know.
Dude,
is he related to Hulk Hogan?
No,
it'd be a lot cooler if he was
Larry Hogan. It'd be a lot cooler if it was Hulk Hogan. Yeah, nah. I don't know. You know, I don't work in an office anymore, so I really don't get to talk. I mean, not that I really.
You don't talk amongst
politics.
the normies anymore.
I don't leave the
This
house.
is why
much
work
anymore,
at home
Alex.
is more productive, right? Because you don't have to discuss the latest political bullshit with you at the water cooler.
I know, dude, that is a fact, Babs. Because the other day, like, I was just so busy with shit I need to do, like ordering material, planning out my next lesson plan for my next class. Like, I had all this shit that's kind of like thrust on me because I'm kind of the lead now all of a sudden, I guess. But I was talking to one of my other coworkers, and I don't even know how it was. It started out a very base conversation because he was talking about AI and how it can track all of us. And then I started talking about the Patriot Act and digital bank, you know, central bank digital currency. And I was like, wow, okay. We're actually having like a non-normie kind of a base conversation. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, Mr. Wayne seeing the light here, you know, and he's an older black gentleman. He's good in some areas, but then there's some ways where it's like, Mr. Lingham, you're watching too much normie mainstream news. But then we started getting to talk about, like, I think we're ready for a civil war. And I'm like, I'm ready for secession, I think. And he's like, then we got into like Lincoln and the whole like Civil War. And then you're
like, why do you think I learned how to weld? Right? I mean,
it's just one of those things where it's like, you could only go like, where you get normies on board, and then it's like, okay, just small doses, Alex. You can't go full on like Lincoln was a fucking tyrant and the Civil War was unnecessary.
I had to dig this up the other day.
Yeah, I was recommending that book, The Real Lincoln by Thomas DiLorenzo. I mean, it's kind of like, I was like, look, we just started talking Civil War, and it just like convert, and then it just diverged, and it also started with like monument talk. And just how, like, you know, back when like Trump,
watch that,
yeah, I know, and I'm just like, but to the point where he was just like, oh, well, they should be removed from parks, and I'm like, a Civil War park, and you want to remove Confederate memorials? That's the last place where I was like, I could understand, like, maybe you want to remove it from some fucking city park. I don't know, privatize the shit. I don't give a shit. And I was bringing up Babs's the classic. Well, this is just the failure of the commons, like. When you have just public property, then it's up to the whims of any any group that feels, and they use democracy, the god that failed, to fight over something that isn't private property, and private property is a solution. And maybe the solution would be like, all right, well, just donate it. Don't use taxpayer dollars to remove these monuments, but at least donate them to a museum and send the money to charity. I don't know. Like, but I was like, the last places you want to remove Confederate monuments would be from a fucking battlefield. Like, what are we doing here? Like, this is, I don't know. But then it went off the rails. It went to like the old
He who controls the past controls the present, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of, I was bringing up like, this is 1984, you're erasing and this and that, and then it just gets into that like in the weeds, and then you're getting into like someone's knowledge or perspectives on the Civil War. It was just like, all right, maybe we'll just part ways here. I was like, oh, I got to send off some emails. Well, see you later.
Yeah. Right. So when you work at home, you don't have to get in those kind of conversations in the workplace.
Yeah.
And it could be, like, work against your productivity. Instead, you argue online with people.
I do a lot of that. I do. So you guys have no idea. Most recently with a far right guy, it's been about a 3-day conversation, just commenting back and forth. And, Jared, he blames everything on the Jews. And I'm just like, dude,
wait, what?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. It's ridiculous, man. I'm like,
come on.
I just try to explain to him, like, the problems are societal, they're political. And it's like, you just blame everything on this like small cabal. And I don't think that the anti-Semites hate all Jews. I think they think there's like a cabal or like a small group that sort of pulls the strings in the world. But it's like they blame everything on like that group, and it's like, dude, we have social problems that have nothing to do with them. Everything that happens isn't orchestrated. It's not all their, I don't know. We just have very different opinions.
Are you talking to Pete Kionis again?
No, but he probably thinks the same way. And I do keep that in mind, that like when you talk to these people, they're representing a viewpoint that's out there, and they've adopted that viewpoint. And just like
most of your friends, would you say most of your friends are collectivists, Kyle? Or the people you're interacting with?
This guy's not a friend. It's a Facebook person that I've known for a long time that has been in my group and just chimes in with like anti-Semitic shit sometimes.
Because it's like, once you start accepting any kind of collectivism, you might as well, it's kind of hard to separate the anti-Semites from nationalists, from racists, from,
no, it's not
taxpayers, or, but if you just,
I take a classical liberal position. We have in my group, we have ANCAPs, and then we have this guy, far right guy. So, and we have lots of far left guys. I mean, everybody sort of just takes to pick teams, and then you just argue from that position all the time.
But how do you argue against collectivism from a collectivist perspective?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't really see myself as a collectivist, but I could see, how that you could perceive that. We have different ideas of government and different ideas of what's going on in the world, and I don't think that it's the Jewish cabal's fault. You know what I mean?
As Babs takes a hit on 2 babes at the same.
I mean, I just look at, like, if I argue with, like, if I talk to somebody in real life and I argue against public schools, they're going to fight me tooth and nail. They're going to love public schools. And there's millions of people that love public schools, and that's why we have public schools.
Libertarians. Right?
Yeah, even a lot of libertarians defend public schools.
We got to have school choice.
Is that the Jews' fault? Like, that's how it's a reflection of our society, and that's why we have those institutions. So, I don't know. But immigration, he blames that on that's the Jews trying to do white replacement. I mean, it's
trying to replace ourselves.
The Jews will not replace us.
It's like, I don't know. It's not. I don't know if fun is the right word, but it's like entertaining to just argue back and forth with people. So
do you still think that's fun, dude?
Enjoy.
It's not, like I said, it's not fun per se. It's like, it's just
entertaining.
Dude,
I stopped doing that like 5 years ago. I just got tired. I got into one last argument on Facebook, and I was like, I'm just not going on Facebook anymore.
Just
And I stopped.
drop your best meme and move on. There's
Yeah.
really no need to even come back and survey the damage, right?
Yeah.
Just right. Like you should have a killer meme for every argument. Oh, gun control. You know what I mean? Like gun
Yeah.
control. Some idiot wants gun control. You know, I've got the meme that's like, yeah, I saw a movie once where only government had the guns. It was called Schindler's List, right? Like, like there's no need to have an argument when you have the right meme for every possible like bullshit statist idea, because we hear the same bullshit all the time.
Right.
Yeah, the NPCs, it's just you can't break through. It might as well just have a dank meme stash and just send it. Oh, I guess we're gay. Well, on that note.
Thanks for
Oh
listening
yeah,
for
let's
an
get
hour
over
and a
to the
half.
gay after hours.
Yeah.
All right,
hour and
well,
5 minutes.
guys, thanks for coming on. This was a good episode.
We'll get some Fed levels for the after hours.
Yeah. Hey, if everyone wants to keep listening to us, I know you do. Hop on over to our Patreon channel. For as little as $3 a month, you can get access to our after hours episode. We record them every week. And if you give us $10 a month, you can get a cool t-shirt like the one that I'm wearing. Although usually it's black, but I'm special. Yeah. Aside from that, we've got t-shirts over at libertariancountry.com. You can use promo code PRL to save 10%. And yeah, thanks for listening. And until next time, live free
Or die.